Hey everybody, I forgot to put this into the last video we did where we were setting up our sine, our cosine, and our function to find sides. So let's take a look at setting up sine, cosine, and tangent when we're using real numbers. So sine of an angle, so right here, this first one, sine is going to be the length of the opposite side over the length of the hypotenuse. So we're going to start by labeling our sides. We always label all three sides. Hypotenuse, draw an arc through the given angle. That's the adjacent side, and the leftover side is opposite. So we've got hypotenuse, we've got adjacent, and we have opposite. Well, sine is the length of the opposite side over the length of the hypotenuse. So when we write our trig function, we're going to say this, we're going to say sine. We spell it S-I-N, we leave off the E because we're only going to use 3 letters. So the sine of our angle, we always put the angle after sine, equals the length of the opposite side over the length of the hypotenuse. So the sine of that angle that we're talking about is the length of the opposite side, 3, over the hypotenuse, 5. Cosine of an angle is the length of the adjacent side over the length of the hypotenuse. So when I draw out my arrow, here we have our hypotenuse. This side right here is the hypotenuse. Draw an arc through my angle. So this leftover side is adjacent, and we've got opposite. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So when I write it down, we're going to say the cosine of theta. We abbreviate cosine COS. Cosine of theta is going to be the length of the adjacent side over the length of the hypotenuse. We always put the angle after our sine, our cosine, or our theta. Most of the times it's going to be a number. Theta just means angle. So the cosine of theta equals 4 over 5 because it's adjacent over hypotenuse. And lastly, we have tangent. To find tangent of an angle, we're going to do the length of the opposite side over the length of the adjacent side. So to find opposite and adjacent, we start by identifying hypotenuse. Here's the hypotenuse. I am going to draw an arc through the given angle, and that arc always hits hypotenuse and adjacent every single time, and then my leftover side is opposite. So the tangent of my unknown angle, theta, is going to be opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. So the opposite side, the blue side, is 3, and the adjacent side is 4. So that is how we are going to write our trig functions out using actual numbers. That's why it's so important for us to remember the order they're in. So if you have any questions, please ask your teachers the next time we see you.